morning, lovely ones. So it is Friday morning and I am off on an adventure. Hi there, my name's Sam. Welcome to my channel, So It's Sparkle with Sam. And this morning I come to you from my kitchen. It's Friday morning and I am just getting ready for a day of kind of sorting and packing because I am going on an adventure. So if that sounds like something you'd like to watch, then don't forget to give me a like and subscribe and join me on getting ready for the day. So I have just made myself, well, I made them last night, but I've just added the toppings, some lovely overnight oats. I'm really into a new app at the moment called the Two Raw Sisters. I'm trying to up my game on breakfasts and things because I tend to eat the same kind of thing over and over again. I like eggs, as you know, but I'm just kind of trying to up my game on different things. So I had a look at this app, and actually my lovely friend Catherine from Soverton Makery kind of pointed me in that direction, and they have some really good breakfast options that are kind of nice, easy to make, quick and simple, and also delicious. So my topping of choice today, I've got some frozen cherries, some frozen blueberries and a passion fruit. I love passion fruit because when I was a teacher, I probably shouldn't tell you this, but nothing gave me greater pleasure than eating passion fruit for my lunch when I was running a science club and telling the children that I was eating frog spawn. I mean, I did tell them afterwards I wasn't eating frog spawn. I'm not a monster, but it did used to make me giggle. I digress. So yeah, I've got my cup of tea. I'm ready to rise and shine. And in a bit, I'm going to take you upstairs into my spare room and we're going to pack what I'm going to take away for my trip to the Scorchio, London town, because I am 50 and frolicking this year. And part of my 50 and frolicking is that I am going to London for the weekend with my absolute lovely bestie. And yeah, she is not a sewer. She is a best friend from my working days, and yeah, and we're gonna go and have a lovely weekend. So come up with me and see what I'm packing in my case. So I've had my breakfast. I was going to take you straight into the spare room to start packing, and then I realised there was a couple of things that I just needed to finish off before I started packing my bag. So one of them is my pyjama bottoms. So I am sharing a room with my friend in London, and although it is going to be 32 degrees in London, very hot, when you share a room you need to wear some pyjamas. So I've decided to make myself some double gauze pyjamas because I find that that's the coolest thing to wear when you're sleeping, coolest and comfy. I've made the top out of the Ashton top and the bottoms, the shorts, out of the Peppermint magazine leisure set bottoms, but I made the shorty versions. I was going to use the lane pant pattern and just shorten that, but I've already shortened the one for the Peppermint and it was all ready to go, and time is, you know, short. So I have cut out those pieces already, and then I will sew them together. And I'm just going to use this bias binding, this blue bias binding that I had hanging around to save on the hemming and stuff, because I find that with double gauze, the hemming is where sometimes things can go a bit wibbly wobbly. So bias binding to the rescue, and also because it's a bit of a stiffer cotton, it kind of tends to stabilize the hem and look a bit nicer. So yeah, so that's my plan. So I'm going to finish those shorts. The other thing that I want to get, well, I say finished, I kind of need to get it started really, is I was planning on one of the days to wear my new Faulkner trousers shorts version, with the t-shirt, but it's even too hot for shorts. The thought of kind of being in kind of shorts that fit me around my waist and then getting on trains and on the underground and it being tight, you know when it's tight when you sit down and you're sweating and it all kind of pools in a particular area, thinking that's just not going to be very pleasant. So what I've come up with is I'm currently wearing my Lyra dress by Tilly and the Buttons, my kind of Hawaiian version, which I love and is great for these days. But before I put this on this morning, I actually put on a ready to wear dress that is super cute. I'll pop in a picture of me wearing it. I might actually put a little video of me talking you through it. And I thought, do you know what? That would make a super dress for London. And I don't think it would take me too long to make it because I've already made the Ashton top. So this is the Ashton top that I've made to go with me. And I just thought, well, actually, it's just an elongated version of the Ashton top. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to make an elongated version of the Ashton top into a dress to wear on either the Saturday or the Sunday. It depends on how it turns out, which one I wear on which day. So this is the fabric. I got this from Beyond the Pink Door when I went to see Andrea in person, when I went to Plymouth Rocktails, and as you can see, it's gorgeous. I'm not entirely sure which way is up, because it gives me hot air balloon, jellyfish, hanging flowers of Babylon, all of those things. And I don't know which is up or down, but I'm just going to pick a way that I like the most, and that's what I'm going to do. And make an Ashton dress. So I am going to go and top up my water bottle. I'm going to get on with those sews, and then when I finish those, I'll meet you back here in a bit. So this is the ready to wear dress that I was talking about. And as you can see, it's basically the Ashton top made a bit longer. It has got a little button at the back, but I don't ever undo it, so I get it over my head. So I think the Ashton top pattern will work fine. Now the only thing with this dress is I do wear this dress in the autumn a lot with something underneath and with leggings on. I don't tend to wear it a lot in the summer, unless it's kind of really hot and I'm just in the garden. And the reason I don't is it's just a teeny weeny bit short for out in the wild for me. So what I'm going, because if I kind of lift my arms up to put something up on the train, as you can see, that then gets a little bit indecent. It's kind of fine here, but that's the level. So I'm going to add 2 inches to the bottom, because the other thing about this is it's got a tiny weeny hem and I'd like a larger hem to it. So I'm going to add 2 inches to the bottom. But yeah, I'm going to make my Ashton dress now. Oh, that's taken me a bit longer than I thought it would. It is very hot in my sewing room. I've just had a look. It's 29 degrees in my sewing room and it's just getting hotter and hotter. So what I've done is I've cut it out and I've just basted the shoulder seams, put the darts in, make sure the darts are pointed in the right place, make sure that I've not got any gaping around my armholes and that I'm happy with the length. What I've actually decided to do is what they do in the Ashton top is they actually put a facing. So I did only just add a little bit, and then I will cut a facing once I've kind of measured the bottom. But yeah, I think that's going to be lovely and cool, and yeah, I really like it. So obviously I need to finish the seams and then put the bindings on the facings, and then that's done, so that shouldn't take me too long. So I'm going to go and get myself a cuppa, and then I'm going to get on with the shorts. So my plan was to get this video out to you on Friday, Friday. and kind of get everything made and kind of do the packing and all of that, and kind of get the video up for you Friday, and then do another video on Monday after I've been and show you the pictures of, you know, what I've worn and all of that. Well, it's just been too hot today to sew fast and do anything particularly quickly. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to just put this video all together, and then you will get it. You'll probably be watching this on Monday or Tuesday after I've kind of been away. So let me just update you on what I've done so far. I have done the little dress. Just stand up so you can see. I've done the little dress. I've bound the armholes. I've bound the neck. I've actually bound the hem as well to give me that little extra length, as I said I was going to do. I've literally just put it on. I haven't even given it a final press, but I need to do that before it goes in the case. So that is finished. The other thing that I wanted to show you was my other Ashton top. So this is a lovely light and breezy, easy breezy. It's got a little label in it that says new threads. So this is inside out. I thought I'd show it you inside out because isn't it pretty? Because I've used French seams for this one, and to also show you that how they get you to finish the Ashton top with this little kind of hem facing, which I think is really pretty. And yeah, it just comes together really nicely. I used a slightly narrower binding for the neckline in this one because the fabric was so fine. And I folded it over twice so that you got the lines going the other way on the arm, but I just, you know, it's just a little feature really. And then my other Ashton top, so I've got one Ashton dress, one Ashton top and one Ashton PJs. So, and this is in the double gauze, and I used all of basically every little bit of Specky Seamstress bias binding that I had left, because you know you use the new packet but you never use the whole bit and you're always left with little bits. So I've just used them off because it's a pair of pyjamas. And then on the hem facing, this was one that I used for a waistcoat that I made. So I'm really pleased with that because it's kind of used it all up. And then that's the Ashton top for the pyjama top, and then the pyjama bottoms are done all bar the shouting. I haven't hemmed and I haven't folded down the elastic, but what I sometimes do with these ones is actually leave the elastic up and then just top stitch it down. So I might just hem the bottoms and then wear them like this for a bit and decide what I want to do after I've worn them. So yeah, so that's where I'm at so far. Mr. Sparkle's going to be home soon, so I need to go and see what we've got in the fridge for dinner. And I am going to go downstairs and make some breakfast muffins for the morning for our train picnic, because me and my friend will want a little train picnic in the morning. So I'm going to go and do that, and I'll see you in a bit. Good morning, it is Saturday and I'm all ready to go. So it's 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm just ready for my friend to come and collect me on the way to the train station. I've got my new dress on, which is the Sew to Grow Sydney shirt dress, and I've managed to find these really colourful beads and they kind of pick up all of the colours in my dress, so that's cool. I've got my bright pink lipstick on. I have literally just washed and let my hair air dry because it is still rather hot. You will see some full length pictures of me in my dress a bit later in the day, but you know, I'm all ready to go. I have packed up for my overnight stay in my lovely duffel bag that was made for me by the lovely Catherine, who is Sew to Makery, from a pattern from Adam Sews, the duffel bag, and it is perfect for a kind of overnighter. I've got everything I could possibly need in there, and probably a few things that I don't really need, but you know, you never know. And then I've still got room for my little boxy pouch that I made from matching fabric, and that's got all my makeup in, so that's going to go in there. I've also made matching bags for me and my friend. Now my friend's is slightly different. This is mine. My friend's has actually got a pocket on the front. I ran out of fabric, so I didn't have enough for a pocket for mine. It says made with sparkle, and this is I'm going to pop downstairs in a minute and open the fridge and put our little train picnic in there, and then I've got a spare tote bag for if I manage to do any shopping. So that's going in. And then my day bag, I was going to take my buckthorn backpack. I was going to take that, and then I realised, because it's so hot, I was like, I don't really want a backpack on. And because we're staying in the hotel, we can check in. I only really need a handbag bag. So I've actually got this, which is a vintage bag from Oakley. My husband, Mr. Sparkles, he collects Oakley paraphernalia, mainly sunglasses and watches. And he bought this for me, this one and a matching silver one, as a gift quite a few years ago. But it's my go-to bag because it's got loads of pockets. You can literally, I've got, you know, my tissues, my sunglasses, my hay fever meds, my fan, my emergency straw. When I'm going away and we might be kind of partaking of cocktails and things like that, I always take my own little straw with me, my little reusable straw. Yeah. I don't like paper straws. I just don't like them. So yeah, that's coming with me. I might be weird. I might have given you information you don't need about me, but yeah, there we go. So yeah, so I've got that all ready to go, and it does pick out, I have got a green in here and it does pick out that green. So I ummed and ahed about the silver one, but actually I really love this colour. And then I've got my little space camp from the olden days keyring on that bag. Yeah, which I like to take with me. So yeah, I'm all ready to go. I'm very excited. I'm a little bit overexcited, if I'm honest, but I'm always like this when we get a trip away. I've decided I don't want to take a lot of shoes. I'd normally wear trainers with a dress if I was kind of going to do a lot of walking, but I'm just going to take my sandals. I'm not going to worry about trainers. I think my feet will be fine. I gave them a good soak last night. Oh, and I painted my toenails because my toenails were quite disgusting. So I did that last night. Yeah, so I'm just going to take, I've got a pair of navy Birkenstocks, I've got a pair of silver Birkenstocks, and I've got a pair of green Birkenstocks. I've also got a gold pair. I've got a lot of Birkenstocks. So I'm just going to go downstairs and pick which ones I think looks best. So I'll see you, hopefully, on a train. Good morning, it is Monday morning and I'm back from London and I've got my cup of positivity. Oh, now, I must just tell you, I'm wearing what I would have worn in London, but I'm not, if that makes any sense. So this morning I got up, put my Faulkner shorts on, my ones that I made for my wearable toile, and my new white mint velvet dupe, my copy of a mint velvet t-shirt, on this morning. Looked wonderful. There it is. Went downstairs to have some breakfast before I started filming, and I got egg all over my white t-shirt, which is, I mean, I've talked to you this about before, which is why I shouldn't make myself white t-shirts, but hey ho. A bit of Vanish soap, which is like a laundry soap to the rescue. I put it straight in the wash and I'm going to put it on the line in the sunshine, and everything should be fine. But instead I'm wearing my one of my Mix It Up tees that I made from the Mix It Up Tee Challenge for the Weekend Sewing Club, and I'm looking forward to joining in the Weekend Sewing Club. The new pattern's going to come out on the 1st of July, so I will put all the details of that down below, but I have also done another video about that. But yeah, it's a really handy t-shirt actually, and it's the way that I've done it kind of almost looks like it's meant to be kind of two separate fabrics, but there is actually a seam there. Yeah, I like this one. It's a nice one. Anyway, what you want to know about is how I got on in London. So let me tell you, I'm going to have a quick slurp of my tea and then I'm going to tell you all about it. So I'm going to put my tea down before that goes over my t-shirt as well. So yeah, Saturday was brilliant. We we got to the train station. The trains were really busy. They always are, Leamington to London. We did manage to get seats, but they were the priority seats. So, you know, if there was someone that looked like they needed a seat more than us, then we were willing to get up. But it was nice. It meant we were sat in the kind of like the front area, so it was a little bit cooler, which was quite nice, because I think otherwise that train journey could have been, yeah, quite a challenge. But it was all fine. Yeah, and everyone using all of the seats meant that everyone actually could sit down. It was just full. So yeah, it was a lovely ride. We had some Bucks Fizz, which is Prosecco and orange juice, because, you know, that's the way we roll. It was my birthday. I mean, it wasn't my birthday, but it was for my birthday. So you know, it was like it was my birthday. I'll put a picture of me. I wore my my new Sydney shirt dress from Sew to Grow, and yeah, and it was lovely. So we arrived. My friend had done a fantastic job. The hotel was right next to. So we got off at the train station. We got on the tube. We went to the Strand, and it was literally, the hotel was there, and there was the hotel, and there was the theatre that we were going to. So it was brilliant. Checked into the hotel. Our room wasn't quite ready, but they had like a room for us to leave our bags and bits in. So we did that, and then went off. We were quite hungry by then, so we went off and had some lunch. Yeah, we just found a nice little place, and they were doing kind of picky bits, you know, kind of tapas and that kind of stuff. So we had that, and a nice glass of fizz, because, you know. And then we went to see Six, the musical. It was amazing. And the outfits, I must just do a little nod to the outfits were amazing, and the way that each outfit really kind of told the story of each queen. So if you don't know the story of Six, so it's all about Henry VIII's 6 wives, but it's done in as if it was kind of modern day, in almost like a what's the word, like Britain's Got Talent show type of scenario, when they kind of all pit up against each other, and then in the end they realise that girl power will out, and they, you know, and women supporting women and all that jazz. And it's really light-hearted but poignant. Yeah, really enjoyed it. But the outfits were stunning, and they were all very super sparkly, and as I said, they all kind of depicted I mean, obviously I don't know any of these queens personally, but like their personalities, as has been depicted in history. So it was really good. And when it had finished, my friend, again, double tick, she's a good friend, we had the best seats. They were absolutely fantastic. We were kind of like near the front, in the middle, so we had like really good views. I did manage to take some footage. They allow you to film at the very end, so at the end of this video I will put that in. I might not get away with putting the music over the top, but because YouTube says no, but I will put what I can, I will put in at the end. Yeah, and we sat there at the end. It's a 90-minute performance with no interval in the middle. And I did say to my friend, as soon as it had finished, I said, do you know what, if we could have 10 minutes now to go to the loo, have a quick drink and come back in again, I'd watch that again. It was that good. Yeah, it was brilliant. If you imagine the kind of Spice Girls in their heyday at a concert, it was that kind of feeling, and I was there. So I can say, yeah, it was brilliant. It was really good. Really enjoyed that. And then after that, we went back to the hotel, had a bit of a freshen up. We then could check in. Our hotel room was lovely, but it was quite warm, but they had the air conditioning. So we did some resetting, and then and left the kind of air conditioning to do it's work. And I'm so glad that we did that. Again, my friend's much more sensible than me. So yeah, when we got back in the evening, like a lot later, it was lovely and cool in the room. It still wasn't cool outside. It was very, very warm, which was why I was very glad that I had my Ashton PJs. So my double gauze PJs with my Ashton top and the peppermint loungewear shorts. They were brilliant. And actually I wore them again last night here. And they're just so super, super comfy. And I never really thought about the Ashton top as being a pyjama top, but it's a really good one actually. It's a really nice one because it's straight over your head. I mean, it's got a bust dart in it for my D cup, but that kind of makes it even better really, because it covers everything over, so I don't have to wear a bra with it and still kind of be covered up. Obviously, if I wore it as a top, I wear a bra with it, but as pyjamas, it's absolutely fine. So yeah, that was brilliant. In the evening, we went to a bar called Blame Gloria. It was something that I walked past and it really caught my eye, and it reminded me of a place that we've got here in Leamington, and it's kind of had a similar, it's called, the one in Leamington's called Heart and Co, and it had a similar kind of vibe around it, and I kind of had a feeling it was the same kind of vibe. And it was really, although it was much louder than Heart and Co, and the music was much, much more modern, but I really enjoyed it. I really went with it. So it was really good. And we had a few cheeky cocktails and did a bit of dancing, and yeah, me and my friend really like to dance, so yeah, we did that, and yeah, it was good. It was a really lovely evening. I was a bit pooped. We came home at a very reasonable time, it wasn't too late. And I looked out, we looked right out into London from our hotel room. Get my teeth in. We looked right out in London from our hotel room, and it was still kind of bustling and busy. Yeah, it was lovely. So, and then Sunday morning we got up, got washed, dressed, showered, sorted, and then we found somewhere for breakfast. We didn't have breakfast in the hotel. As much as I love a breakfast buffet in a hotel, when I'm in London, I like to kind of go and see different places. So we went, we found this lovely little kind of steak and eggs place, which looked really nice, and we could sit outside under a canopy, so it was nice and cool, and we did that and had breakfast. Put a picture of breakfast here, it was delicious. I love breakfast. Breakfast I think is my favourite dinner. My breakfast is my favourite dinner, if that makes sense. My favourite meal. Love it. Absolutely love a breakfast. And then we had just kind of did a little bit of sightseeing. We wanted to go to Liberty's, but we knew Liberty's didn't open. They don't open their doors until 11:30 on a Sunday, and the tills don't open till 12. So we kind of had a little potter around, and then we kind of found ourselves, in different places. I nipped into the Oakley store because, as I said earlier, Mr. Sparkles loves Oakley, so I went in there to see if there was any kind of thing little that I could get for him, but there wasn't really anything there that he didn't already have. So I took a picture of myself outside the Oakley store and sent it to Mr. Sparkles. So, and he was happy enough with that. So yeah, and then we went into Liberty's. Now, I got a new bag. So normally, I said to my friend, I want to go to Liberty's because I just want a picture with me in the purple bag, because obviously normally you get a purple bag, but look at this. This is much better than the purple bag in my opinion. So yeah, absolutely cool. Now in that bag, I've taken everything out now, but in that bag, they were having a little sale. I always go to the fabric section in Liberty's, but I also always go to the stationery because I'm a bit of a sucker for stationery. I love a notebook, I love a pen, love all of those kinds of things. And I also love cards. Now, I make a lot of my cards. Cards that I send to people, I tend to make a lot of cards. But they had a 50% sale off all of the cards. So I bought some, obviously I will send them, but I've also bought some for kind of inspiration. One of the ones that I really liked was this one. And it says, "Happy birthday, lovely." And it's got this little kind of vase and flower effect. And I thought, oh, I might use that as kind of a bit of inspiration to make a free motion embroidery one that's like that. So yeah, and then you just have a little fabric vase and then the flowers come in from it. So I thought that was quite nice. I've got quite a few people in my life doing exams at the moment. So I've got this So Proud of You, because again, I thought it's quite a good idea of a card that I can make. But I bought that one. And then this one instantly just made me giggle, and it says Pandemonium. And yeah, and it just made me laugh. I didn't get that for any other reason other than it was funny. Pandemonium. It's my life, really. And then this one that just says, hip hip hooray, it's your birthday. And again, I might use that for inspiration, but I might just send that because it's a nice card. So yeah, I got those cards. And then I got a little pack. So this is how it came. And it's basically Liberty scraps. And the reason that I bought those is I do have a lot of scraps, but I don't tend to have a lot of Liberty scraps, and not ones that I can kind of coordinate together. And I do love making kind of little cards and little bits from Liberty. So I thought a fresh bag of Liberty scraps would be a nice idea. But I've also had an idea for a while of making a little last minute entry for So Fruity, because I've seen around a lot, and I've been talking about it a lot, of trying to kind of get a pattern or make a pattern. And I know there are lots of free patterns around, but I kind of like the idea of making my own of fruit, like the pincushion fruit. I've seen the Liberty obviously do the apple. They also do a pear. I'll pop a picture of it here. They do a lemon and some other bits and pieces. And I've seen strawberries. And I don't need another pincushion. I am pincushioned out. I have plenty of pincushions, but I thought it might be quite nice to make a little fruit bowl of fabric fruit, just because, just to kind of see if I can do it. You know, because I haven't got enough to do. It's not like I've got 3 pattern tests to do this week and set up my new website, but you know, hey ho, I might just make some fruit as well. But yeah, so I also bought a pack of, and I've got them out like this for you because it's, then you can more easily see what kind of colours I've gone for. But I just thought that they would make really nice kind of fruit. So yeah, so that's what, and that nearly went in my tea. That would have been terrible, wouldn't it? So yeah, so I bought some Liberty scraps to make some little Liberty inspired fruit for So Fruity. Now the other thing, I didn't buy this in London, but it did arrive just before I went. Now my lovely friend Mandy, who is Make It So, we chat quite regularly. On a Monday evening we tend to have, you know, a little Zoom chat, and we kind of have a catch up on our weeks and stuff. And quite often, if there's something that she needs, I'll send her bits and pieces, and she does the same. And she's been putting together a little box of things, and that kind of saw this, thought of Sam kind of things. And anyway, she sent it to me, and the little note said, "Thank you for bringing sparkle into my life," which I thought was really sweet because she brings sparkle into my life too. Lots of love, Mandy. And in the little package was some eggs, some little candy, like gummy eggs. Yum, yum, yum. And we were chatting that when we went to the Stitch Festival, Victoria from Little Rosy Cheeks normally gives away a little label. And for some reason, I think it was because I was too busy chatting, but I didn't get one. Or this is the one that Mandy got on, but she got 2, so she sent me one, which I thought was really sweet, and it says "Sew Me," which I love, absolutely fabulous. And then I also got these 2 little fabrics. I haven't even opened them, so I don't even know how much it is, how much fabric there is. But if I had to make an educated guess, I'd say like 1/2 metre, but it might be a metre. Shall we have a look? Shall I open it and see? But yeah, I think it's probably half a metre. It's folded. Ah, it's fat quarter. Fabulous. There we go. Isn't it beautiful? It's lovely quality. It's what I thought it was a bit more. Beautiful. So there's a spacey one and then a galaxy one, and I'm sure I will find something good to make with those, and I can see why Mandy thought of me. And then the other thing that she sent me are these sparkly stars, these rainbow stars, and you use them like D-rings or kind of key ring, because that you can, they kind of open up. And I had one of these before that I used for a bag tag, and I was so like, it was one of those things that when I used it I was just sad that I didn't have it anymore, even though I loved it on the thing. So I've now got 4, so can't wait to decide what I'm going to put those, where I'm going to put those. So yeah, so that was basically my weekend in London, my whole weekend. So plans for this week are, as I've alluded to before, I've got a pattern test that I need to do this week. I'm doing pattern tests for the lovely Charlene, and I'll pop all the details down below. Now, when she asked me to do it, she said that I'm best to use kind of viscose, you know, something flowy and drapey. And then I had a little look at the bits and I knew I needed between 3 and 4 meters. Now, I didn't have any fabric that kind of hit that brief that was 3 to 4 meters long. I tend to have 2.5 to 3 meters. I don't tend to do 3 to 4. And because it's a pattern test, I also didn't want to spend a lot of money on fabric, because I don't know whether I'm going to like the style, or, you know, or whether it's something that I'm going to wear a lot, or, you know, you just don't know, do you? So I went on to Pound Fabrics, and I've never bought viscose from Pound Fabrics, so I was a little bit apprehensive of what it was going to be like when it came. But I've washed this, it's came and I've washed it, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. It feels more like a cotton lawn than a viscose. It feels quite stable, but it's also very drapey. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with this. I love the colour. I love the green. So I bought that one, and then I've also bought this one. I know I'm not supposed to be buying fabrics, but it was £2.50 a metre. I've bought 4 meters of each, so, you know, I've got 2 lots of fabrics, £10 each, you know, can't really complain too much about those, and I need them for the pattern test anyway. And then I got this lovely blue one as well, because I just thought that was absolutely gorgeous. And then I did buy a 3rd fabric, but this one is for me to put away. This one isn't for my pattern test. But look at this. I just thought this would be gorgeous in the autumn. And it's got like autumn leaves all over it. So yeah. So my plans for this week, as I said, I'm going to be working hard on my new website and on my patterns. And I'm going to be doing a few pattern tests as well. So yeah. Now, this may have been quite a long video. So if it was, then thank you so much for sticking with me. I do appreciate it, every single one of you. I really do. Yeah, and I hope you enjoyed kind of seeing what I got up to this weekend and what I made to go on my sparkly weekender for 50 and frolicking. And I will see you very soon. Don't forget to sparkle. Hope you get lots of time to sew. Bye for now.